Ranger had never known a life beyond the fences. Born and raised on a quiet family farm in southern Ohio, the Australian shepherd mix had grown up among chickens, goats, and cornfields. He was loyal, intelligent, and fiercely protective of his home. The Johnson family treated him like one of their own, especially 10-year-old Lily, who taught him tricks, fed him table scraps, and swore she'd never love another dog as much. But when the Johnsons ran into financial trouble, everything changed. They owed money to a powerful land developer, Charles Devereaux, a wealthy man who bought up family farms to turn them into luxury resorts and golf courses. He wasn't interested in the land's history or the people who lived there. He saw numbers, profit. And when the Johnsons couldn't make a final payment on a debt Charles had generously offered them, he used a loophole to take everything, the house, land gone. One rainy morning, Charles showed up in a sleek black SUV with a team of lawyers and contractors. The family was devastated, heartbroken. They were allowed to leave with only a few personal belongings. But not Ranger. Charles claimed the dog was part of the property. "You abandoned your rights to all assets," he said coldly, "and technically, he's unregistered." Lily screamed and cried. Ranger barked and fought as Charles's handlers dragged him away, but the girl's voice faded as the SUV disappeared into the rain. In New Grayson, Ranger was taken to Charles's massive estate, hundreds of acres, guards, gates, and no warmth. He wasn't brought there out of kindness. Charles liked having exotic animals on his land. He had horses, imported birds, even a caged lynx. Ranger was meant to be decoration, a rustic touch. He was locked in a pen behind the guest house. No toys, no freedom, no Lily. For days, Ranger refused to eat. He paced. He growled at everyone. The handlers gave up trying to train him. But what they didn't realize was that Ranger wasn't just angry, he was planning. He studied the staff's routines. When they fed him, when they left the back gate unlocked for just a second too long. Then, one night, he made his move. The escape plan. The moment the gate clicked and swung open for feeding, Ranger bolted. Fast, silent, and calculated, he dashed across the lawn and into the trees surrounding the estate. Guards shouted, flashlights flickered, but he was already gone. The estate was 40 miles from the Johnson farm, but Ranger didn't hesitate. His paws bled from gravel. He swam across the creeks, dodged cars, slept beneath bridges. It took him for days, but he made it back. Lily screamed when she saw him standing in the front yard of the small rental house where her family had moved. She ran to him sobbing, wrapping her arms around his muddy neck. "You came back? You came back?" But their reunion was just the beginning. Because Ranger didn't come alone. Attached to his collar was a GPS tag he had stolen from one of the estate's tracking devices during his escape, and embedded in it a data card filled with location logs that proved something the Johnsons had only suspected. Charles had been illegally storing hazardous materials on the farm before taking it from them. Ranger hadn't just come home. He brought evidence. Justice unleashed. The Johnsons took the device to the local news. An investigative team followed the data. What they found shocked him. Charles Devereaux had been using several of his acquired farms as cover for environmental violations, leaking chemicals into local streams, dumping waste in sealed sheds. The GPS logs matched transport trucks, security patterns, and secret drop points. It was all there, thanks to a dog who wouldn't let his home be stolen without a fight. Within weeks, Charles was under federal investigation. The courts ruled in favor of the Johnsons, returning the deed to the land and granting additional compensation. Charles's face was splashed across headlines. Billionaire developer exposed by farm dog. The farm was restored, the house repaired, and in the middle of it all, Ranger. Not just a farm dog, not just a pet. A hero.